Shelby's time, breaking down the stories every view will unwind. From left to right we'll see the light. It's balance we're chasing, no fighters fight. Curtis Shelby talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Shelby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Shelby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Shelby. The combos you need. The combos you need. Insights, it's on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The convo's unique. Curtis Selby talking it straight. Let's hear both sides, let's communicate. Politics and reason, let's find the truth. Curtis Selby's here to bridge it for you. Debates, insights, it's all on the screen. Curtis Selby keeping it keen. Hit subscribe, stay a while, let's dive in deep with Curtis Selby. The combos you need. The combos you need. The combos you need.
Hail and well met. It is I, Curtis Selby, your tired midnight blogger. What blog group is based at 6:53 p.m. Cry havoc and let loose the dogs of war. And because well, anyway, I won't even talk about it. But I got a later start than I intended to get. I haven't really prepped much of anything, but I do have a surprise guest waiting in the wings. Going to wait just for a moment to allow the three of you the chance to wait with bated breath, with eager anticipation. This person is way too important for me to have just simply put on a panel. I'm going to be interviewing them, but their time is precious and short, and also very expensive. So they're going to just have to wait backstage for just a bit while I say hello to the people in the chat. Spawn! Hail, John Ponterero. His name is John Ponterero. Thank you very much, sir. I've been just running lately. I'm paying a little bit of a price for it, but I'm okay. You see as my avatar actual film footage of your tired blogger attempting to talk reason to senators and congressmen in the swamp. This is actual footage, not something I ripped off of a comic book. Honest. John Ponterero, you are such a wonderful human being, says this is much heavier at double speed, and Gorilla's censored thoughts says Kapla, and I replied to him, Kapla! Glory to you and your house. Also, I want to say I can hardly wait for the Epstein list to be announced. And I would love to be on that if that's at all possible, but even if not, even if I just end up in the chat, it will be an honor to learn with you who the scumbags are. And then maybe we can make this comic book scene a reality. And I'm not sure I understand this one, but Pam Bondi is being a bigger beep tease than the stripper last night with the Epstein list. I need to watch more news. I don't remember a stripper with an Epstein list. Congrats on 700 subs. Indeed. Thank you. Wonderful people like you. I'm sure that song that you helped, that you made, is at least a part of it. Henry Kissinger. No. No spoilage. The non-release today. All right. Well, I think everybody's waited long enough. Oh wait, Gorillas. She keeps saying she will drop it, or it's on her desk, and we're still waiting. AKA teasing. Oh, she is a tease. That's, I was talking to her last night. Oh wait, no, I can't get a bit of that. I wish. So if anyone's wondering what that thumbnail's about, it's just a wish in the head of the tired blogger. That's really all it is. All right, let's cease this music, and we shall. This will be a spoiler, but this is how I decided to announce my guest. Maybe. Well, we may not need any stinking music. Maybe it doesn't matter. Hearts. As I announce my esteemed guest for today's interview, president and excoriated villain, the person who is saving you billions of dollars and you still hate, loathe, and despise him. The person who hasn't slept with an intern in the White House desk, but you're mad at him because he's having a desk renovated for Elon Musk's kids, spreading a booger on it. The man that so many of you want me to hate, and who I did hate for too long, and who I decided that his hairstyle was so very superior that I would emulate it myself. I have the wig coming in the mail. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present to you what's that? Secret Service people are giving me. What's that? Yes. What? So we have to make sure that the perimeter's clear. Yeah, we could. Yeah, absolutely. What? Well, it's that Lee Harvey Oswald. What has this got to do with Lee Harvey Oswald? I don't think I understand. Okay. Well, we're getting some things cleared up and cleared away. I guess I'm still going to be interviewing him, but evidently Donald Trump has decided that if he wears a cowboy hat for the interview, since that's something that's done in Dallas, it will prevent him from having any attempts on his life since Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas. I'm not sure I understand the thinking, but that's okay. Please, everybody, welcome our esteemed guest, President Donald Trump. Well, hello. This is, in fact, Donald Trump. I would like to tell everyone that is the biggest honor. It's the biggest honor. Nobody is bigger than the Tired Midnight Blogger who blogs at midnight. It's the most magnificent podcast it's ever been, except, Gorillas, who has actually several hundred more followers. But other than him, this is the greatest podcast. This is the most informative. This is, in fact, the most factual. Nothing that you will ever listen to is more factual than the Tired Midnight Blogger, Rob blogs at midnight. Thank you, Donald Trump. That's very much appreciated. So my first question is, I really didn't think that you would come since you're so busy, destroying everybody's Medicare and Medicaid and doing all these other things, threatening to launch nuclear missiles and all that. What is it that caused you to actually come to this? Well, Baron Trump, I tell you, my son, he's the tallest kid. Have you seen that kid? He's at least 8 feet tall. Nobody's taller than Baron Trump. Baron Trump has all the ladies love him. It's just like me when I was that age, Baron Trump, and everybody loves him. And he said I should be on more podcasts. And so I was on this Joe Rogan podcast, and then suddenly I was president again. So I was told that the Tired Blogger was also an amazing podcaster. I have come to officially tell you that you have been denied, though, the presidential passes that you had requested. Well, damn. Well, that's a bummer. But why did you have to personally come and tell me? I mean, you're the president of the United States. You easily could have just had, sent an email or something. Why did you come personally? Tired Blogger, that's one of the dumbest questions that I've ever heard. That's a really stupid question. You remind me of an average media person. That's a really stupid question. Anyone should be able to figure out why I would accept an invitation from the Tired Midnight Blogger. Well, okay. So, all right. I accept, I didn't really plan this out very well. So that really could have been a stupid question, but I still don't understand. I can't be in the press box, but you're going to come here and interview me personally. You have to understand, whenever you're dealing with a mind as magnificent as mine, I'm always thinking 5 steps ahead of the opponents. And one of the best things that you can do is to sow chaos and discord. And while your opponents are whining, you're actually doing something amazing over here on the side to win the battle. I thought the most confusing thing I could possibly do would be to deny you press passes and yet show up on your show. Actually, I think I can understand the reasoning of that. very well. Everyone, while we've got the president, he's only got a few minutes. He's got lunch with Elon Musk, and then he and Elon are going to plot the demise of all of our benefits and things. Do you have any questions? I see that the chat is going on about how blondes have more fun. And Jeff B, hail and welcome. Do you have any questions for our cowboy hat and blue tie wearing President of the United States, the Donald J. Trump? Let's see here. If they don't have any questions, that's because I have answered all questions. The questions, all of them can be answered by presidential orders. I am ordering that we put all of the money that Doge is saving into a project to put an Arby's on the moon. Yes, an Arby's on the moon. This will be the most amazing thing that everyone will know America's greatness. Once we put an Arby's on the moon, Canada will succumb to our seductiveness and become the 51st state. Vladimir Putin will surrender the entire country to Ukraine, who will give us all of their mineral rights, and NATO will bend over and kiss their own asses. That's really okay. That's a really interesting plan. Jeff B is telling us that the hat is to cover a bad hair day. Are you having a bad hair day? To be honest, yes. I'm having the worst hair day ever. It's the most terrible hair day that has ever been. There's never been a hair day like this hair day. It's just terrible. In fact, here, I will take off the hat and show you. Oh my God, that is a terrible hair day. Okay, yeah, you weren't kidding. Usually, a lot of the things you say are hyperbole, but man, that's a bad hair day. It really is. Well, President, I know that your time is valuable, is precious, that you actually are doing the best you can to save us money. Maybe you make a mistake here or there, but I think a lot of the things that you're doing, all kidding aside, is, in your judgment, the best thing that you can do for America. I hope that you're doing well and that God blesses you. I still would like the press passes, though. No, that's not going to happen. No press passes for the tired blogger. Okay. Well, that's okay. Well, God bless you, Donald J. Trump. We shall show you out with the honor guard that we have here. There's Cassie and 5 Huskies. So. Here we go. We shall escort Donald Trump out.
I love you. Mishka, I love you. Mishka, I love you. I love you. Mishka, I love you.
I love you. I love you. Good girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Good girl.
All right. So there he goes. President Donald J. Enigma Severus. Where's Joe Mama? I don't know if I want to try a Joe Biden impersonation. One of these days I'll actually plan these things out. Well, before I start diving into the goofy crap that I want to talk about, is there anything you guys would like to discuss as President Nixon flies away on Air Force One and George Washington tells us that we came frighteningly close to losing everything that he gave so much to gratify our freedoms for? No, there he is. Orange Man Bad. He's talking about how he caught a fish that was this big. All righty. So there's silliness, mayhem, disconcerting things. There was President Donald J. Trump. I may have another guest or two in the background. In the meanwhile, I think I'm going to share something just because I can. So as I've become more and more of a radical right-winger, I've been watching. I know I can already hear my left-wing friends now, or maybe I shouldn't call them. I know they think they're centrists. The reason why I'm willing to call them liberals because I asked one of them once about it, about some of the liberal things that somebody was saying, and the guy's response was, hell, I'm the most liberal person there is. So if you want to be called liberal, then I will call you such. But I've been watching Gut Feel. I miss having some late night snarky humor, but I'm frankly sick to death of the humor that's out there right now. I'm tired of constant mocking of Trump, and we can't make fun of our own side, or at least I rarely see it. I'm sick to death of bringing on CNN hosts. You guys are objective, right? And the audience laughs because they know it's a joke. So maybe I'm being wrong, but it's fun and it's funny. And I'm kind of surprised at some of the points that the guy makes. Let me see if I can find this. Joy Behar. I was wanting to share this the other day, but I will share it today instead. When was this? I'll bet they don't. They probably won't, since I'm actually looking it up right now. I've talked about her a little bit. But the long and the short of it is, to me, she was one of the, Joy Reid was one of the examples of terrible reporting, because I almost never heard her report anything. She said things like, everything Trump says is a lie. Well, even if you believe that he lies a lot, that's not a job of a reporter to say stuff like that. It's just not. Lots and lots of spiffy racist things came out of her mouth. Orange Man Badass. Who is Kissinger now? If I had any idea, one of my conservative friends wants me to try to figure out Kermit the Frog. I don't know. I'm not sure I can get that one out. But I wanted to share what he had to say about it. I'm not going to play the entire 17 minutes. How far does this go? Damn, he has so much. Okay, so no. Where did it end? Where does it end? Okay, I'll probably play a minute at a time the first 8 minutes or so of this. I just thought he actually did a great job with it, and we'll see what you guys think. If there's anybody out here that loves Joy, I'm not even going to apologize on this one. While I want to include everybody, she was awful. I'm sorry.
Okay. What, no last name? Good evening, everyone. So over the weekend, MSNBC canceled Joy Reid's TV show. And according to the network, all of her wigs were quickly released back into the wild. There they go. When asked about her future plans, Ms. Reid claims she plans on spending more time with her family, accusing her relatives of racism. Elon Musk said all federal employees have to send an email saying what they accomplished in the past week. Musk said, I'll start. I fathered 5 different kids.
Okay, that was funny, but it's not what I wanted to share. Where's this thing about Reid? Here it is. Here it is. Okay.
All right. It's a sad moment for the show. Joy Reid is out. Of course, we're heartbroken, for she provided this show with more material than a seamstress at The View. On slow news days, Joy was always there to help with a racist rant. Oh, I loved her. Remember these golden oldies?
We do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men. What they're saying is we own this country and everyone will bow down to us.
In America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears.
Now, I don't like to use hyperbole, but Joy's firing is the biggest blow to racists since the Confederacy lost. Because not only did cable news lose a bigot, but the bigot herself might finally get the round-the-clock care that she really needs. But you got to wonder how she was able to last this long. The irony, of course, is in her name, for did Joy bring any joy to anyone's life? No. Oh, I didn't know this was a call and response show. But think about it. I'm willing to bet no one ever said, you know, I was going through a tough period in my life, and listening to Joy Reid really got me through it.
Yes, indeed. It is true. I have been going through just the toughest time in my life, and listening to Joy Reid explain to me how I'm a bad white man and how I'm nothing but bad and I'm evil and I'm racist and all I really want is to oppress her. It really got me through. It got me through that dark time of depression and excessive misery. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Joy Reid is out at MSNBC. All right, who have we got? Hey, hail, DJ Plain Ice. Welcome, welcome. And Gorillas, I agree. The race baiter is fired. And don't forget. Oh yeah, that I should. Thank you for reminding me, because if she hadn't been fired, she would remind me that I'm a fascist and I'm toxic. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Joy Reid, may she rest in peace. But he says some more really good stuff. It's, you know, if it was just this, I wouldn't have played it. I might have talked about it. I might have done my own show about it. But I think he said it better than I can. So I'll play another minute here.
If anything, it was their tough periods in life that got them through Joy Reid. But that's the problem with MSNBC and legacy media. Their income was based on making life worse. Instead of focusing on real stuff, they created hoaxes, ones that sowed division and hopelessness. Now, Joy's firing came on the heels of MSNBC's parent company, NBC Universal, settling a $30 million defamation lawsuit with a Georgia gynecologist.
This is what I wanted you guys to hear. I had heard about this in the past, but I hadn't thought about it in, I don't know, some months at any rate. And you may be wondering, what in the hell has this got to do with Joy Reid? MSNBC settling a lawsuit with, quote unquote, a uterus collector. Well, this is what I've been trying to tell some of you folks. And I know I'm preaching to the choir with most of the people that are here, but the mainstream media lies to an extent. It's like, it's almost as bad as what they claim Trump does. I have to cherry pick to do it, but I can literally come up with nearly a 70% lie ratio with the things that they say. Gorillas rest in piss. And hey, Jim's Landscape, Commodore Productions, salute to thee, good Commodore. Thank you for coming on here. I'm going to basically just enjoy myself for an hour or two, just randomly throwing out goofy crap that I feel like sharing. And there will be an interview with a special guest here in a moment. We have already had our interview with Donald Trump. I've asked him for press passes, and he politely told me to get stuffed. So this is crazy. Oh, yeah, this is crazy. I think you've seen it, so you know what I'm talking about. Hail and well met. Dark Woods presents. Welcome, welcome. We are celebrating 700 subs, and thank you, because you are a part of that. All of you wonderful people are a part of that, essentially sharing with people, often with shamed faces likely, and wearing, trench coats and masks so that nobody knew who you really were. Hey, you really want to listen to the Tired Blogger? He's really got good stuff. Hey, what's that can of mace? Bye, Felicia. I mean, Joy Reid. Woo. That's the sad thing, Dark Woods. Now, I will be fair to my friends. When I would talk to them back in the day, they didn't say a word about MSNBC, but they would look me in the eye. And they would say that CNN never lies. And even back then, I hadn't quite gotten very deep into the blogging at that time. Even back then, I was like, man, I'm sorry. I love you, but you're full of shit. They lie all the time. But I didn't want to be a bad friend. I didn't want to insult someone, and, but they do. I'm sorry. Looks like I won't be doing an Epstein stream. Oh no, what happened? Do I want to know? I probably don't. And yeah, y'all drop your links in here. Drop your links. Let people know who you are, what you are, where you are. Like them saying that Elon Musk is unvetted. So exasperating.
I know, Georgia. In 2020, the network reported that the doctor working at an ICE detention center was performing unwanted hysterectomies on immigrant women.
Does anyone else remember this? I do. I seem to recall CNN doing some reporting on it too. Now, if memory serves, CNN didn't hop up and down about it very much. I seem to recall like one or two reports on it, and then it just disappeared. Evidently, MSNBC wasn't smart enough to just let it go.
The network called the doctor the uterus collector. I know, that was my nickname in college. Here's how they reported it.
Just to underscore that, the allegation here is that this is a federal facility, and they have been sending immigrant women in their care, in their custody, to a doctor who has removed their reproductive organs for no medical reason and without them consenting to it.
Nurse says that detained women told her they didn't fully understand why they were undergoing hysterectomies.
You talk about in the complaint a hearing from women who are detained there, talking about a specific doctor.
And you see the evil clone of the tired blogger there on your right. So, yeah. In an alternate universe, I had a successful life, became a left-winger, and was on MSNBC. Yeah, there you go.
Performing hysterectomies, referring to him as a uterus collector.
Oh, yeah. Chris Hayes was one of those who peddled this story about the uterus collector, but his only proof was that his was missing.
Oh, my God, mine's missing. Help, help, I'm missing my uterus. Come see the violence inherent in the system.
And yes, the story sounds horrible, almost too horrible to be believed. But for people in legacy media who suspend common sense on all things Trump, it was just too good to check. It had to be true, but it.
I honestly do suspect. I don't know. I'm not going to claim that the media does this, but I think that the jackasses with CIA and FBI and MOUSC who are coming up with these stories and then feeding them to the media, who then just parrots them out. I really do think that they have running bets back in their offices. Oh man, can we get them to believe this? Hey, how about this? RFK cut off a whale's head and drove it to his house. I'll bet they'll believe it. Yep. Sometimes things are too good to be true because they aren't.
Wasn't. And the tip-off right away is that these hacks would actually condemn a doctor forcibly collecting uteruses. Because when it comes to kids, it's lovingly called gender affirmation care. And you'd think the fact that no one else was reporting this might have been another clue for these great investigative journalists.
I could be mistaken about CNN reporting, but it does seem to, I mean, my memory is that they had a segment or two about it. Nothing to this degree of insanity, but anyway.
Although calling Nicole Wallace, Chris Hayes, and Rachel Maddow journalists is like calling Stacey Abrams, Jerry Nadler, and J.B. Pritzker plus-size models. So how far were they off? Well, the judge in the case states that there's undisputed evidence has been established that there were no mass hysterectomies at the facility, and the doctor is not, quote, a uterus collector. So other than that, their reporting was perfect. So MSNBC has reportedly decided to settle up rather than risk a trial. But you still got to wonder how this story, this hoax, got this far.
For that matter, how did any of these hoaxes get this far? Oh, tired blogger, you're being unfair because the right has a lot of hoax things too, and you guys don't look at your sources and they go along with. Yeah, well, we didn't silence our entire opposition online for 4 years. We didn't, Fox may have said some really ridiculous things, but their one media source, whereas hundreds and dozens of others were reporting crap like this. And then when you dared to share with your friends something like this, something like, say, Russell Brand or Tucker Carlson, I just don't like that person. I don't believe anything that they say. But then you were the idiot for not believing a story like this. Oh, it's on the news. It's real. It's true. I mean, how can you be afraid of Bill Gates when he owns far less than 1% of all the land in the United States? I've got to tell you, it's fine that you don't like me sharing stuff like this, but if your only response and your only rebuttal is nothing more than a Democrat talking point, even if I love you like a brother, I'm going to start losing respect after some months. And maybe I'm making the same mistake now. Maybe all I'm doing is regurgitating right-wing stuff. I get it. And maybe it is a legitimate criticism. I'm thinking about it. I'm praying about it. I'm talking about it to the friends that still talk to me. But I guess the long and the short of it is, if you want me to listen to stuff that you have that does nothing but make my stomach turn, you got to sometimes share a little bit back. Listen to the stuff I have to share that may make your stomach turn.
Well, what was the point of the hoax in the first place? To damage Trump and his determination to finally tighten the border. They wanted to believe it was true. You know, like when I told that flight attendant it was a war injury. The anchors just love the idea that there was a sinister doctor forcibly removing uteruses so that these women couldn't have kids after entering the U.S. It's so evil, so fascist, so Trumpian. Seriously, how soon will Hollywood make a movie of that? The evil doctor could be played by Kevin Spacey. Yeah, and the uterus could be played by Peter Dinklage.
I like Peter Dinklage. Take that back. Okay, fine. He's not perfect. Sometimes he says something that irritates me, but although that is mildly funny, but all right.
It makes no sense. Don't try to make sense of it.
Don't try to make sense of it.
But again, how do they fall for this garbage? Well, first, maybe they felt that if they were wrong, of course, no one would check. But also, any belief system is a continuum. And if you go far enough out with it, you can arrive at a very bad place, especially if you already start at a bad place. Like, say, Trump is Hitler.
Yeah. Like Trump, Hitler was also viewed as a clown, a goon who could be kept in line. It was blatant fascism meets the Jerry Springer show. If that sounds vaguely familiar, that's because it is. Similarities to what happened in Germany and what's happening now in America are just undeniable, violent, terrifying, and sometimes bizarre conspiracy theories that set the table for maybe armed resistance to a Kamala Harris win or mass acceptance of American fascism.
Let me know when you guys are finished fighting amongst yourselves who I got to vote for in November to keep Hitler out the White House. If it's Biden in a coma, I'm going to vote for Biden in a coma.
All right. Let me catch up on the chat real quick here. Dark Woods, Elon Musk literally made rockets for the government and has top secret security clearance for that to be done. Jeff B, well, they say lies and damn lies, CNN and MSNBC. Yeah, I used to think CNN was the big bad bogey, but the last year I've come to see that MSNBC makes CNN look like the honest and pure and objective truth tellers that they wish they were. Darkwoods, they say he's stealing their Social Security from the Treasury. Yeah, I know. They've already come up with their talking points. He's stealing money, and there's all these conflicts of interest, which I still need to research that because I have a good friend that insists that that's true. One of the reasons why I went the direction that I'm going on this channel is because of the thing that Gutfield said. When you start from a dark place, you go someplace even worse. And I was listening to my friends and I was hearing stuff coming out of their mouth that sounded just like what Joy was saying. And I can hear my friend, we never said anything like, oh, yeah, you kind of did. And I was wondering what was wrong? Why were my friends who I thought were so reasonable and so loving, why were they saying these terrible things? You know, I could understand saying stuff like, let's put it this way. If you believe the January 6th and the Russian hoax story, I can absolutely understand. Oh, Russia, Trump is a fascist. Trump is a Russian dictator. But I was hearing insane crap. Like, anyway, I'll drop it for a little bit. I'll get caught up on the chat. I think they need to be sued by the executive branch for lying. I hate to say it, but yeah, I'm freaking tired of it's for 4 years they got away with this crap. And honestly, I would be okay with that if they hadn't censored us to the point of some really I used to think that we were going to have a civil war, and I'm going to be blunt. I think what prevented it was two things. One was Elon Musk bought Twitter, and here's the deal. Here's what you don't understand. When you take away a people's right to voice their opposition, that's when it becomes something darker and more horrible. And sometimes I wonder if that wasn't the government's intent. I wonder if the deep state wanted a civil war. Do you remember when we were hearing about it all the time? There's about to be a civil war. There's about to be a civil war. I think they wanted one. And if you silence one side, they get to be so angry and so hateful that they're willing to fight. The second thing was when Trump survived the assassination attempt. And look, you can tell me all you want. Oh, he was a Republican. The guy that shot at him was a Republican. I don't give a damn. I don't think he was the one that actually masterminded that plan to begin with anyway. Whoever it was, whether it was Iran, whether it was the Democratic Party, whether it was radical right-wingers, whoever it was part of a plan to hurt the United States. Not Trump, the United States. And between those two things, I think we've avoided it. And I think we should all get down on our knees. And even if you don't like Trump, thank God that we didn't have a civil war. We are at peace. And I firmly hope and believe that at least for the next 4 years, we at least won't have a civil war. Darkwoods, I remember they were saying they were removing their uteruses. I think they need to sue, and jail. John Ponderera, Sybil the Soothsayer was from MSNBC. That's a joke. If you haven't seen it, with the from the movie The Network, which we had a watch party with my Patreon members. We need to come up with another one soon. I am thinking Shake Hands with the Devil, but you guys let me know what you would like to see, and we will make it happen soon. Gorillas, you got 3 crackheads on the screen. I love they're taking away federal funding over immigration, making boys wear dresses in school. The Coolots, I think. Darkwoods, the Daily Mail Oh, wow. Okay. I need to look into that here in just a sec. In fact, I'll just go ahead and look at that. Right. I'm going to finish this video and then look into this thing that Darkwoods has shared.
You'd vote for Biden in Tacoma. Well, why not? You did the same thing in 2020. Meanwhile, coma patients are blinking out Morse code for, come on, guys, we're not that bad. Amazing. But you can see how Joy laid the groundwork for the hoax. So what's left of MSNBC? Well, they're replacing Joy with a 3-person panel. So if it's a slow news day, they can call each other racist. Which raises the other question. Maddow and the others pushed the uterus story. Reed did not. So why is Joy fired and the rest of them aren't? Is it because they're all white? I mean, here's a case where Joy can actually cry racism. And finally, for once, it might be true. Let's welcome tonight's guest.
All right. I just thought I would share that. And for those who think I pander to the right, maybe I do. It might be because I am on the right. Although I do think that all that right and left stuff is largely a misnomer anymore. So a man confronts grandson's teacher allowing the boy to wear a dress. I want to be a dress wearer.